Welcome into today's broadcast right here at Cog Hill Farm. Now, Peaches wouldn't let Nugget into the house for this episode, so here's Jason, Brooke, and our chicken master, Marycarl.
What is up, guys? It's another episode of the Cogcast podcast, and tonight we have some critter up here, and this is a possum.
What's its name?
This is Laura. Laura the possum.
Laura the possum.
She's a pretty possum.
She is.
Was she born here on the farm?
No.
It's actually a turkey. And
Yes. A turkey poult, which is a baby turkey.
Turkey poult. And we did have two up here, but we had to do a take two because she was very vocal. And this one's seems to be much more calm. So
Way more calm than the other one.
the other one I was holding, and it may have just been that I'm not the turkey whisperer. Think that's what it is?
Possibly.
Probably
Possibly.
so.
So, her name is Laura.
Why'd you name it Laura?
Because the lady we got her from, its name was Laura.
The lady we got her from actually called us because she had a turkey that had laid a bunch of eggs and abandoned the nest. And she had, 16 eggs?
16.
16 eggs. And she was so afraid that there were babies forming in there and that they were going to try to, that it would just kill the baby if we didn't get them and incubate them. She had no way to incubate them. So we went over to Miss Laura's house to get the eggs, the hatching eggs, not knowing if they would even hatch. And we ended up coming home with two little baby turkeys.
Yes, live baby turkeys. They weren't in the eggs.
What's the
They
other
weren't
one's
in the
name?
eggs.
The other one's Bluey. Bluey had to go, though.
Blue.
And the reason there were some turkeys that were already hatched is because she had two females, two hens. And the other one was a blue slate.
Yes.
And
no,
she-
the Tom.
Oh, the Tom was a blue slate. The female was a royal palm.
There was a royal palm and a bourbon red.
And the royal palm was sitting on 19 live baby turkeys. That's a lot of babies.
How many eggs did she have total?
I think they all hatched, didn't they, Marycarl?
Yes, they did.
So she had 19 eggs and all 19 hatched.
She did.
That's what you call a 100% hatch rate.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is crazy. So the lady had all 19 babies under there, and she informed us that she wouldn't be able to keep all 19 babies. Well, light bulb goes off in Marycarl's head, and she's like, She didn't ask for one. She used her very special manners and showed her that she was the turkey whisperer and approached the mother. And about that time, some babies came out. And they came out to see Marycarl, and they
Yeah,
were just a
those
couple of days old.
Wow.
So once that happened, she was like, wow. She didn't really know us. She was just somebody that was like a friend of a friend. So she didn't know Marycarl was the turkey whisperer at the time. The babies started coming out, and she was like, you can have a couple if you would like. And Marycarl's face lit up. Mama, can I? Well, how could I say no then? We went to get eggs, but we came home with babies and eggs. And she's candled the eggs, and
There's actually 4 fertile ones.
4 fertile.
Yeah.
So
there's some in the incubator too.
oh, you didn't know about those, did you?
No, I didn't know about those.
Well, it wasn't a secret. It's just that we actually came by your work after that, and we had a couple of the babies, and we just assumed that you knew that there were
Okay.
eggs in the basket. But I guess you didn't.
I didn't know there were eggs in the basket.
Well, that was what we went for. So we did tell you that we brought home a couple of babies.
Yeah, I
and-
saw the baby turkeys in the truck when you came by my work.
Yes, that's right. So you knew we had babies.
I
You
knew
just
you had
didn't
the
know
baby
that.
turkeys.
You just didn't know the whole
I
story.
didn't know about the eggs in the basket.
So anyway,
I do want to say this. If anybody gives Marycarl something, you're going to be named after it. That seems to be a common theme. We got Vicky, we got Laura, we had Spencer, who's now Sassy Man.
sassy man.
I'm sure I could think of plenty more.
Oh, I'm
we've
sure.
We've had Julie. We've
Tony.
Had Tony. We've had Ollie. We've had
Oliver.
Oliver. Yeah. That's a
It's
common
ongoing.
theme. Yeah.
It's ongoing.
It is
We hadn't
ongoing.
had a Brooke yet, and I'm kind of waiting.
Wait,
It's got to be something
it's
very
gotta be
special.
somebody outside the
I
family.
have a good name for something, Brooke.
What?
A goose.
Oh, great. It's going to be a loud one, I bet.
It should be Brookie.
Brookie.
That would make it better.
Brookie the goose.
So the 2 turkeys we got it's been about a week, hasn't it?
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
starting to
probably.
get their back feathers.
They are just spectacular. We love turkeys here on our farm. We do have Thomas, and we have 2 hens, and we have had them together, and they have showed each other attention, and they have laid a couple of eggs. So those are in the incubator as well.
Have you candled those lately?
I did. I can't tell yet.
Okay.
Well, it hasn't been very long since those have
Okay.
been in there, but we do have a very special turkey egg, and I don't
We
even know if I should
do.
mention this or not.
Do I know about this one?
We mentioned it to you, but I don't know if you remember.
Okay.
It has 2 yolks in it,
Oh, I do remember this one.
and it looks to be forming. And do you
I
know
see
what
2
that would
little
be?
round dots.
I don't want to go too far with it because my hopes are not real high on
Right.
it actually forming. But I
Got veins.
haven't seen it. But Marycarl told me that this double yolker turkey egg is fertile.
Now, we did a podcast about eggs and double yolkers, and we said that double yolkers hatching are extremely rare.
Extremely rare. And that was in chicken eggs.
That
Now,
was in
this
chicken
is a
eggs.
turkey.
That's true. And what's more common is that one of the yolks hatch and not the other one. That's what I read.
Well,
One of the yolks could consume the other one.
that's true.
So it could have extra large yolk sac.
It could. It could form into one.
Or
And
it
I
could
think that
form into
happens
one.
sometimes with actual.
What if we're going to have a turkey with 2 heads?
I hope we just have 2 turkeys.
I did have a double yolker duck egg that was under a turkey, and
She rolled it out, didn't she?
She rolled it
She
out,
knew
and
that
it
thing was
busted.
She
wrong.
knew it wasn't
She
going to
knew
hatch.
it.
She knew it was going
She
to have
knew.
only.
They're smarter than what we give them credit for.
That's right. They know.
They know.
But this little girl right here, we say girl.
We
Mary-
don't know.
We don't know for sure, but she thought it was a girl when she picked her out.
Just
We
a little
will
smaller than the other ones.
we will not have another Tom on
No.
this farm, simply because
We don't want.
We don't want fighting.
Yes.
we don't want fighting to occur. And when you have hormones involved, and there's 2 males or 3 males or 4 males or whatever, then there's a possibility,
Yes.
good possibility,
Good possibility.
that they could fight.
Yep.
And we don't want that.
We
so
don't want that.
hopefully these 2 are hens, and hopefully the twins that are going to hatch are going to
If
be
the
twins.
twins are Toms, we might have to have them a very special pin.
But yeah, Daddy better get
Oh,
ready because
gosh.
he's going to have to build a 2-Tom pen.
Well, we got 40 acres coming up, so maybe we can have somewhere to put a 2-tom pen.
2-Tom pen. He can have. They would probably get along, being
Yeah,
just
that'd
2
be like-
Toms.
That'd be like, yeah, you're my brother. I
You know what we
you.
could do?
We
It
can
could
name
be
them-
the 2 Toms and the 20 hens.
It could be, or we can name them Thing 1 and Thing 2.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
If they're 2 toms.
2 Toms. We got tickled about turkeys on this podcast.
Doesn't
All right.
take much to get us tickled.
So, Marycarl wanted to talk about some facts about turkeys.
Turkey
Well,
facts.
before we get into that,
Uh-oh.
this is a bourbon red blue slate mix, which I'm hoping is gonna be a lilac. That's a turkey color mutation, and
Say the color again.
lilac.
No. Blue slate.
Blue slate, which is a bluish gray, and I think that's what bluey's gonna be, just a normal bluey color.
And she's mixed with a blue slate mixed with what?
Bourbon red.
Bourbon
Now,
red. Okay.
Is Ruby and Rhonda bourbon reds?
Yes.
Okay.
Ruby and
They're
Rhonda are both bourbon reds, and they're full blooded.
And Scott's either a broad-breasted bronze or
Not
a Spanish.
Scott. We know Scott's not a broad-breasted bronze.
Thomas, he's either
I
broad-breasted
think he's
brown
a heritage bronze.
or a Spanish black.
He's
or
not a
maybe-
broad-breasted bronze for sure because he would not be supporting his weight at this
Yeah.
age.
No, he's probably a standard bronze or a very dark Nargonaset.
Or a heritage bronze.
What about a Spanish black?
I don't
No.
think he's
You don't think Spanish black?
he's too bright to be that.
Okay.
We do our research.
I see.
In our spare time.
My buddy Chad over there at Adler Farm, he has a Spanish black. Gosh, he looks just like. And you know what? I've seen 2. I'm trying to think of the other person I saw. I saw Chad's at Adler Farm, his turkey, and he's missing the exact same feathers as Thomas is on his tail. And then I saw somebody else post a picture of either a Spanish black or whatever Thomas is, and they were missing there too. All three of them could be in a police lineup, and you couldn't tell them apart.
Well, it had
Nugget
several.
probably could.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Nugget
could. He'd know
Nugget- 'cause he's
who's the new
sheriff.
guy.
You know, the sheriff's gonna tell them apart.
That's right. Well, we had several questions on the most recent video as to what's wrong with Thomas's feathers. Well, he's molting,
Yeah, and obviously everybody else's is molting too because they look just like him.
and
There's little red feathers everywhere from the
Okay.
hens.
Oh really?
you see more of the hen.
They molt at a different time than a chicken.
Yeah,
Oh,
they do. And when their feathers come out, you can see that there's no blood in the quill, and that indicates that it's a molten.
That it released
nothing,
on its
yeah,
own. I
that's
got
right.
you.
That there's
That makes
nothing
sense.
pulled it out and caused any trauma.
that makes sense. Nugget didn't stir no
Nugget did
trouble.
not do it.
Or
He's
Peaches.
in the clear.
Yeah.
What I noticed is the female peafowl
Uh-huh.
will pull on Scott's tail.
Are they just testing him?
Yeah, and he goes,
Maybe that's a
He's
love
testing.
tap.
They seen how strong he is. They don't want no little old weak man. They want a strong, strapping peacock man. That's
We
what
all do. That's what women want.
That's what.
You've been working out, hadn't
You've
you?
been working out. Look at
I
him
knew you
going.
had. You won't want no wimpy man. So, can you talk about some facts about turkeys now? Or are you still
sure.
okay? Do female turkeys gobble?
Nope,
What do they do?
they purr.
Like a cat.
It's more like,
They call it purring.
Oh, okay.
it's not, I don't know why they call it purring. It's more like, sometimes they say they cluck like a chicken.
And that's if they're excited or agitated. They will cluck like a chicken.
Yeah.
And it's a high pitch sound.
It's like,
Uh-huh. And we sometimes think that they're broody when they do that.
the Muscovies, they do that when they're broody.
Yeah, Muscovies, they do all kind of crazy stuff when they're broody.
You
Yeah, they
learn
flare up and they're like,
Mhm.
you learn different little characteristics about your animals the longer you stay around them.
Oh, yeah.
And we know from hearing different sounds from our turkeys or ducks or whatever what that sound means, or at least Marycarl does.
when the cheeks are little, I always tap on the bottom of the bird and go,
And they come to you.
yeah.
Does this one do that when you call her, or is she always at your
She's really always,
always right there?
yeah, she's like,
She's really calm.
What makes you like turkeys?
they're just so fun. They're like inquisitive and
Nosy.
Oh,
nosy.
they're so nosy.
They're pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I would have to say, if somebody doesn't like birds, if they were around a turkey for very long, they might change their tune. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, a baby turkey, definitely.
Well, baby turkey, juvenile turkey, adult turkey, they're all cool to me.
They're so fun.
All right. Turkeys were not always bred for what?
They were not always bred for their meat.
What were they bred for?
Feathers. And it's very, very understandable because they're beautiful.
They
Their
are
feathers
beautiful.
are just simply beautiful. I mean, they're striped, they're white, they're black, they're all different colors. And at the end of most of their feathers is going to, like, let's say it's a bourbon red. It's going to be a red feather with a white tip.
So most all of them have a different coloration at the end of it.
The white ones don't, unless they're a royal palm.
They got
And what are
black-
they? They're dark at the end?
Yeah, they're black on the ends.
Okay. Okay. And what we discovered about turkeys was until 1935. That was not that long ago.
No, it was not.
They were bred for their feathers, not meat.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing? I mean, you just
How
think
in
of
the world did we, from 1935 to now, decide that
We
was
were
going
gonna
to be
eat 'em.
Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
I'm
I
going to
just-
Google that.
Well, I think you might not be the only one. Because
So
you know,
you mean to tell me that the Indians and Pilgrims didn't need a turkey? for
well, they
Thanksgiving?
probably didn't care what they ate. They probably just needed a meal. Don't you think?
I believe you're right.
I mean, if it was a grouse, then it was Thanksgiving. If it was a, you know, and how many feathers are on a turkey average?
Ruby and Rhonda and Thomas probably have about 5,000 to 6,000.
5,000 to 6,000.
You ain't been
feathers.
counting them, have you?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Thomas might have about
You're the math teacher.
4,000 right now.
You the one that's been counting them. Yeah, Thomas might. No, he might have 4,500. He's missing.
He's missing
two.
two. Yeah.
He's
missing
just
several.
amazing to me that many
That is a lot of
feathers can
feathers.
be on a bird.
That is a lot.
And so I'm wondering, prior to 1935, when feathers were the primary reason for a turkey,
Yeah.
did they actually kill a turkey and pluck all the feathers out?
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
either.
still wondering what they eat for Thanksgiving before 1935.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to Google. I'm going to have to Google that as soon as we get through this podcast.
Since you're so lacking on your turkey knowledge, do you know what a male turkey's called?
I do.
What is it?
A tom.
A tom. But what else could it be called?
A gobbler.
A gobbler.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that one.
Yes, it's like a rooster is called a rooster, so a turkey's called a gobbler.
A gobbler.
Ain't that,
Huh.
isn't that neat?
That is neat. And that's why we named him Thomas,
Yeah.
because of Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I do know a turkey fact
What?
that Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be
The national
the
bird?
I
national
knew
bird.
that too.
And
Oh.
somehow or another got changed to bald eagle, but I'm thinking the turkey would have been cooler.
I mean, you're not going to slide nothing past this chick. She said
No,
she
I
already
know.
knew that.
I thought I had something.
Keep on trying.
I ain't had nothing.
Do the hens have the more warts, or do the toms?
The toms.
And when we say warts, we're talking about
Those pink,
Those-
purple, white bumps on their heads.
they're just.
Is that what they're called? Warts?
It's called warts.
Really?
It's
I
called
really didn't
warts.
know what it was called, to be honest with you. I call them bumps.
Me too. I call them knots.
Knots.
Like
They-
muscovies. I wonder if the muscovies are called warts.
I'm guessing they are. That would
Well,
be my guess.
Also, another little thing about the turkey is that little snoot. That's what I call it. I don't know if that's what it's called.
On the top right there?
Yeah.
And when Marycarl had the little babies come to her when we were at Miss Laura's house,
I tried to get the ones with the smaller snoot.
she
Possibly
thought that
hens.
she thought that would be a better indication.
That's pretty darn good educated guess.
She went with the ones that had the smaller snoot because she wanted a hen. And most people, if you're getting a turkey for a pet, most people would want that tom. But we just don't want
Yeah.
that.
We've already
issue
got
of-
one Tom.
That's right.
Yep. And Toms are very, well, I say that. We've never had, Vanilla Ice was on the verge,
Yeah.
possibly being mean, but we've never had a mean one. And our friends had a one that, Julie, he wasn't mean.
No.
And so I just,
I
We've
thought we had one a long time ago.
I think we did when you were little.
Yeah, it was a white and black one, wasn't it?
I think it was a Nargana
was it the one we had a whole bunch of them? I say a whole bunch of them, 5 or 6?
I think it was a royal palm because I remember running from him.
Got 'em from Miss Cheryl. Remember? We got them from Miss
Yeah.
Cheryl.
I
And
don't
she got them for meat turkeys. And they ended up, one of them wasn't very nice.
It was a sweetgrass.
Sweetgrass.
And
That's
we
what
had
it
it
was.
here?
Yes, we did.
Gosh, why don't I remember that?
I remember we got a little box
Because
of
you're
them.
getting older,
It was
sir.
like 5 of them.
I am getting older.
It was a box. I remember her putting them in a box for us.
It was 3 hens and 1 tom, I think.
Wow.
I don't remember all
I
that.
don't remember it.
I'm getting older too.
Yeah.
Do you know one way, Jason, that you can tell a turkey, a tom from a hen?
Yeah, he gobbles.
Well, I think this would be probably prior to gobbling.
He's got a beard.
Well, prior to the beard.
He's bigger.
Right now,
He's
if you
big.
were to look at these turkeys side by side,
This sounds kind of crazy.
it does sound crazy.
Let me
I
guess.
did not
You
know
get
this.
You get a piece of copper and hold above it. And if it goes in a circle.
No, and you don't hang them by their feet either to see if they flap their wings.
Okay.
it
Or
was a
whatever.
neck.
Oh,
it's
is it
an
in their
egg.
neck?
Yeah.
That's right.
What
Mary
is-
Carl, what is it?
They're droppings.
What?
Honestly, don't know if this is true or not.
I have never heard of such.
But it says that the females will have a spiral or curly Q droppings, and the males will have more of a J-shaped.
I have never heard that before in my
I'm
life.
glad y'all didn't say J for Jason.
Well, that was I mean, the indication's there. J, shape. You know,
Oh, man.
if it's shaped like Jason, it's a man.
A little man J dropping.
You know, Mary Carl's going to
Oh,
start
my
going around
gracious.
to these feed stores
Oh,
and
gosh.
sexing their turkeys for them. She's going to be like, come on, poop. Come on.
She's going to carry a
Do
pair
it.
of tweezers around with her when we go in them feed stores.
Could we like,
start inspecting it.
This is a male. This is a female. But I have never heard of that.
I have never heard of that either.
I have not.
Mine, I couldn't tell, but they both look like they're spiral.
I'm guessing it has to do with the vent.
Yes.
It obviously
That
does.
the male vent's different from the female vent. That's what I'm
Yeah.
figuring.
I just can't believe, and as many times if we've read about different things,
Yeah, no, that is
that
odd.
we have never heard that a turkey tom's
Didn't know that
droppings
one.
are different than a hen.
Did not know that one.
You learn something new every day.
Learn something new every day.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, I'm going to look at Thomas's and Ruby's and Rhonda's.
Yes.
All right. I bet you did know this.
Okay.
All right. So you know that turkeys have been around for a long time.
Yes.
And Marycarl, why do you think that they've survived so long?
Possibly their hearing.
Their hearing. That's what I'm thinking too.
I did know this
It
one.
says that they hear certain sounds way better than a human. It's like different frequencies. They could hear far off and low frequencies a lot better than humans.
I wonder if that has anything to do with them when the loud noise they gobble. And Scott's the same way.
I bet that's it.
I bet that's it too.
And I'm
I
gonna
bet
tell
it's
you
a different
something.
frequency.
I'm going to tell you something. When I was at the dentist this week, and my dentist is a big turkey hunter, Logan.
Uh-huh.
And he said he was on his property, and we got talking about turkeys. And I told him when he was trying to gobble them up, and I told him, I said, at our pet turkey, Thomas, if anything makes a loud noise, he gobbles.
Uh-huh.
And he said, you know what? There was somebody doing construction work at his property close to his land. And he said every time they banged, he said he could hear the wild turkeys in the woods gobbling. Isn't that crazy?
So maybe we
Reset
need
your
to make up a turkey call.
That's what I was thinking. Why
And you
spend
know what
all
it-
that expensive money with turkey call when you can go out there with a hammer and a piece of metal and call them on up?
That's right. Well, we don't want our turkeys to go extinct, so yeah, reset the
Okay.
camera, Jason. So we did talk about turkeys being here for a long time.
Yes, they've been here for 10 million years.
That's a long time.
That's a really long time.
That's like woolly mammoth times.
Yeah, that'd be like Ruby riding on the top of a woolly mammoth's tusk.
I could see
Wow.
her doing that.
I could see her doing that.
I could see her do that.
Absolutely could see her doing that. And also, isn't the turkey only in the United States? Is that right?
It is. It's only in North America.
Only
Sometimes
in
it'll be
North
in
America.
Canada. But one of the other, I really don't know if this is a turkey,
Mm-hmm.
but it's called a brush turkey. And I believe they're native to Australia or New Zealand.
They're
Somewhere
real pretty
in there.
colors.
They don't even
They're-
look like a turkey, do they?
They're like
No.
purple and
Well, they kind of do. They're like black, and then they got all different colored heads, kind of like a guinea.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay,
I
I
know
remember
what
you
you're talking
showing
about.
So they're
me
pretty
those.
big. They're
Yeah.
about turkey size. And what's super crazy is they'll dig this humongous mound of leaves and compost. It'll compost and it'll get really hot in the middle. They'll dig a burrow and lay their eggs in the center. There's her. Look at her head falling. She's sleeping. But
And then, so
They
so
put
what are
their
you
eggs in
getting
it.
at? They don't sit on their eggs?
they do not sit on their eggs.
You know what? That's one smart turkey.
That is a smart turkey.
Maybe that's what Ruby and Rhonda should do.
That's what every bird in the bird kingdom should do.
How
That
do you
is
know
so
that?
smart.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I didn't tell you that.
We
I
don't
know-
ever
sure
tell her
didn't.
that.
No. So is a brush turkey, it's not even actually a turkey.
I honestly don't know.
I don't think so because I think they're
It's just
only,
got a name of a brush turkey.
Because it
Yeah.
kind of looks like a turkey.
Kinda looks like a
I mean, it
turkey.
doesn't have a big fan like a wild turkey or your domestic turkey. But
I wonder if their eggs are spotted.
I wonder.
You got some more stuff to Google, don't you?
Yeah.
I bet you'll know what kind of brush turkey egg, what a brush turkey egg looks like by night, by dark time.
Yeah.
I bet
Well,
so
it's
too.
already dark, but by, I
It
don't
is
know, bedtime maybe.
Yes.
What do you think? All right, so we're talking about where turkeys are located.
Yes.
Are they in every state?
No.
No.
Only 12 states don't have turkeys.
12 states.
12 states in the United States don't have turkeys. And they are in parts of Canada. So,
I know of they're not in Nevada or New Mexico, but I'm unaware of the other states.
And then turkeys do have these things called beards. And I think that's why Jason decided to grow his, because Thomas's is getting bigger by the year. And
It is getting
Jason's
bigger.
getting jealous. So,
It is getting bigger.
but is yours getting 3 to 5 inches bigger per year?
No, it's not.
It's
well,
not.
I guess I keep mine sort of trimmed.
Oh, you're just trying to keep up with Thomas, aren't you? Not trying to show
Thomas
him
would
off.
beat me.
But it
I
does.
think the hens might trim his beard
You
just
think?
a little bit, make it grow faster.
Well, it says it grows 3 to 5 inches a year. But, you know, I kind of feel like Thomas's beard's the same size as it's always
I
been.
do too.
I mean,
It does.
maybe it's up in here some because we don't, you know, like fool around with his beard or anything. But maybe it comes up in his feathers more than we can see. And that's where,
Maybe so.
you know, the growth starts. So we
We
don't
don't
realize.
measure it either, though.
No,
but
we don't
still.
measure it. And some turkey toms can have multiple beards.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
It's crazy. Like, if this little turkey right here was a tom, it's not dead, it's sleeping.
It's out like a light.
Huh?
It's out like a light.
He is out. She's very content, too. She might be on every podcast.
Right.
This is Brooke, Jason, and Laura.
Laura,
What about me?
Marycarl, and
Oh,
Laura.
I forgot about me, Carl. She said,
Uh-oh.
whoa. Somebody said my name.
That's a little mic.
Oh, goodness. It sure is. She's going to grow, though.
I have a little Barbie mic. That's what she
Okay.
needs.
Okay.
So it's about this tall.
And this is another fact about turkeys, that they will attack humans.
Yeah, this is like true.
This is true.
This is true.
No, I'm saying we're fixing to tell a story that's
Oh,
true.
okay.
So, when we went to Laura's house,
Mm-hmm.
Laura the lady, where we got this chick, she
Poult.
said, Poult. Okay, Poult. What was that?
A bottle.
Are you sure?
It's that turkey purring.
Turkey purring?
Mm-hmm.
She said that they no longer had the tom, and we were like, why? And she said that there's a gentleman that walks up and down the road every day, and he was in his
I can
70s.
see where this is going.
He's in his 70s, and the turkey had never seen the man before. He was out by the
They're
road.
very particular.
They
They
are.
like certain people, they don't like certain people.
But I don't care who comes to our farm. Thomas is not going to jump on anybody. But y'all, this turkey jumped on that man and had him down in a ditch.
Oh, my gracious.
Now, this is the daddy to these turkeys,
Yeah.
poults.
Popes.
But she had never, ever had an issue. And he was carrying a stick.
Uh-huh.
It was his walking stick.
Uh-huh.
And I assume he was kind of making a noise as he walked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, that turkey felt threatened by that.
Wow.
And his hen was with him. And they had to get the tom off the gentleman, and they had to rehome him.
Wow.
But I just can't imagine. I mean, I know it happens because she just told us about the story. But I can't imagine any of ours ever
I can't imagine
considering
any of ours
doing
either.
anything like
And you
that.
know what, too? I think they're all, this is my opinion. I don't have any facts about this, but just from the way, because we've asked, do we have any mean roosters? Do we have any mean, we really don't have that many mean animals. And I think it's because I know I do. And I do it not by being ugly or mean or anything, but being confident. And I think they know that at least I'm the alpha, or we're the alpha, and so they don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, if Thomas was to try to come after me, it wouldn't scare me at all. I would just.
It wouldn't scare me either. But this man was like 6'4".
Yeah, okay. I just seems like I could. But
Defend yourself from a turkey?
But we've been around them, so I can understand if you wouldn't, how that would scare you, though. The geese used to be petrified of the geese during breeding season up to probably, last year, right? Mm-hmm. And I kept telling you to stand your ground with the geese.
Well, I think that's a mental thing,
funny.
too. I think that they realize in their mind that you're scared of them.
They do. They can sense that fear and they realize it. And that's what I used to tell you all the time about the geese. Just stand your ground with the geese and don't run away from them and, go towards them. And
I've never been scared of them, but
Never.
that doesn't take the fact away that I have
can
been bit before.
I can understand why people would be scared of them.
Yeah,
though.
I can too.
see
They're
that. They're very
intimidating.
intimidating. And a turkey would be too. That's a big bird.
But an example of Thomas not showing any interest in anybody else. You know, we have people come over from time to time, and he's never done anything. But today, for instance, Marycarl wanted to show my mom some of her new chicks. And so we went into the area where Thomas and his lady friends were, and Nugget was, and a lot of chickens. And he never even looked at her.
No.
He was like drumming.
He was worried
"Hey,
about his
Dad."
ladies.
Yeah.
He was not worried about us whatsoever.
That's right.
So
Well, he kind of does strut for us. And
yeah, he does.
He does
He wants to
strut.
show out for us and his ladies. So
He loves showing out.
he does. You do too.
That's right.
Store-bought turkeys can't fly.
that's crazy.
Well,
Oh,
it's
they're
because they're
domesticated, right?
too heavy.
Kind of like
Yeah.
a duck.
And
Like
that's like-
domesticated ducks.
I don't know if I dreamed this or not, but did we talk about, I don't think you were here, Marycarl. Did we talk about broad-breasted turkeys?
We talked about them in a podcast a while ago
I
because I
thought
think we
so.
got on a subject about meat chickens, and I think that came up.
So, and that's where we're going with this, is broad-breasted turkeys.
Broad-breasted turkeys. There's broad-breasted white. There's broad-breasted blonde.
Bronze and white.
Bronze and white. And that is what a lot of feed stores are getting right now.
So don't buy those mammoth
Unless-
or mammoth bronze or broad-breasted white or broad-breasted
Unless you want it for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
unless you want it for Thanksgiving.
Try to ask the breed. Ask what specific breed it is, because you're going to be very disappointed this time next year when your turkey can't walk.
Like some of the turkey breeds you would want to get would be blue slate, bourbon red, midget
Royal
white,
Palms.
royal palm.
And those are pretty
Midge-
common now.
do
Yeah.
a good quick Google search. If they say, it's an Argonaset, well,
Yeah.
Google it. Unless
They're
it's,
sets are good.
yeah, they are. Unless it's a broad-breasted bronze or a broad-breasted
A
white,
broad-breasted or mammoth turkey. Don't get it.
don't
Yes.
get it, because that is your meat turkey, and they're not going to be able to. There are some instances where they have lived past their.
You just watch what they eat very,
Yeah.
very strictly.
What I have seen, though, Jason, is no matter how much you watch what they eat, they're
Oh, yeah.
eventually going to
Just like
outlive their
just,
legs.
just like a Cornish would.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Comparable to a meat chicken.
Cornish cross.
Wild turkeys can fly.
Yes.
And do you know how far they can fly?
Probably further than I think.
Let's let Marycarl tell you.
Over a mile.
Really?
That would be like
A long
A
way.
long
a
way.
long way.
I used to think a mile wasn't that far.
It's a long way.
It's a long ways.
I think now a mile.
And imagine if you had
I don't know what
wings and
changed.
feathers.
But I also think that 70's not old.
That's true.
Whereas when I was younger, I thought 70 was old. So you're as you grow and
Yeah.
mature, then ages become nothing. But a mile is a long way for a turkey to fly. I can't imagine looking up and seeing a turkey flying a mile.
No, you just don't see it. Usually it's like a short burst is what you're normally used to seeing.
This is for you.
Okay.
Guess how fast they can run.
How fast they can run?
Yeah.
3 miles an hour.
3,
12.
12,
12?
12 miles an hour. Now, look.
Y'all, there's no, I can't see Thomas running no 12 miles an
Well,
hour.
you better
I
get him
couldn't
fired
either.
up, because I guarantee you he can run 12 miles an hour.
Nugget can run, 30?
Shoot. Nugget can scoot.
think that's
all
right.
I know.
He looks like a little go-kart or something. He's like,
He looks like a cartoon from when
He looks just
your
like a
daddy and I
cartoon.
were little.
The
it
Road
looks like
Runner.
one of the ones that let the legs go round and round. But his legs actually don't even hardly bend when
No,
he
they
runs.
Don't, they don't move that much.
Well, I can guarantee you Nugget can smoke Thomas.
He could
But
smoke Thomas.
12 miles an hour is still fast.
12 mile an hour is fast because
I mean, that's scooting.
I don't think I can run 12 miles an hour.
If
I
you
don't think I
can,
could.
I think,
How
gosh,
fast can humans? Is it 20?
I was just
think
fixing to
so.
say Usain Bolt can run.
I can't. I don't know.
I can't. I knew it one day.
We'll have to get us the computer set up where we can Google it.
Yeah,
while we-
Google while we're talking.
Yeah.
Huh.
That way we won't look like fools.
That's right.
We
we
look
just
foolish enough
say
as
we're
it
gonna
is.
look this up
Yeah.
later, and then we forget
That's
because we
right.
didn't write it down, even though we got a pad right in front of us.
I got a pad and pen right
I
there.
know, that's what I'm looking at. And then, have turkeys always been this size that they are now, Marycarl?
No, they've doubled in size in the last 40 years. I wonder if this little poult used to be the size of a midget white turkey.
I think so because, and look, I was alive during this era. It says since 1980. Okay? I was 4 years old then in 1980. Turkeys have doubled in size.
I wonder if that's meat turkeys, though.
Well, it's basing it on
Okay.
meat turkeys
Okay.
because your average meat turkey size
Yeah, that
back
makes
in
sense,
1980 used to be like 14 pounds.
Yeah, that
and
makes
now
sense.
they're like 28 pounds.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
The midget white, that's a turkey breed that I've wanted. They're tiny.
It's like a Bantam turkey.
Yes, exactly. A Bantam
We've never
turkey.
actually seen one,
I have never seen one. That's
I've seen
true.
pictures of them compared to chickens.
and they're pretty cool looking.
It'd be like the size of a Brahma, probably. A big Brahma.
A big Brahma.
Big Brahma.
Midget white.
Midget white.
Cool turkey.
Little leg.
Well, I hope that you, Jason, learned a little something about
I
turkeys
did learn a
from
little
us.
something about turkeys tonight.
Marycarl would like to take the turkey back and let you and I finish it if that's okay.
That will work. Bye, Laura.
Laura said, watch yourself, watch your little... She's going back to Bluey, who is her friend. She probably is. We enjoyed you, Marycarl.
Louie and Laura. And Miss Laura.
And Miss Laura.
Laura.
So, we are back.
We are back. We got a lot of interest about our new toy.
Our new toy is my
We
new
got-
toy. It's not your new toy. It's not ours. It's
that-
mine.
And that is our Harvest Right freeze dry machine. And we're no experts on this thing. That video we put out was us using it for the very first time Friday. And so we're no experts on it. We've done 2 batches or 3.
2.
2. We're experts now.
Well, I must say that
It's easy.
we all went together as a family and picked strawberries, and we all as a family put the strawberries in the freeze dryer, cut it on, didn't really know what we were doing.
Yep.
But upon beep, 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 notifying that it was finished, this is what it came out to look like.
Let me change my battery. I see it flashing red. You see it?
Okay, I see it. And if you watch the video, all we did was slice up some strawberries, and it just no exact size or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know what we were doing,
No.
and we just wanted to check it out and see what would happen.
That's
I was
right.
really expecting the first batch not to turn out, to be honest with you. I just didn't think we knew what we were doing
Yeah.
enough. Not that the machine wouldn't work right. So we cut it on, and actually, it's like, I know I say this all the time, and I probably need to make it a shirt. Set it and forget it. That's one of those old
That
infomercials
is,
from.
and I was so worried about it, and I kept checking, and I kept looking, and then I just kept thinking something was going to happen.
I thought we
throughout the
had not done
process.
something right. That's what I thought.
Because it was that easy.
But look, did you hear it?
It is just that's what reminds me of those
Freshness.
It
It's still got that bitterness,
tastes just like they did the day we picked them.
and I have sensitive teeth.
Yeah.
So I have a tendency to not like to eat strawberries that are cold.
Oh, so these work out good for you.
It works out perfect because
Well,
it does not hurt my teeth.
I'm going to tell you, I have eaten an entire jar by myself.
Well, Marycarl's eaten 2 if you've eaten 1.
I've been taking them to work
So we did
for
this
snacks.
over the weekend.
Yes.
We took them out. Monday, Marycarl and I went back and picked more strawberries. And when Jason got home, I already had the strawberries cut up. I had froze them this time because the last time we just put them in
fresh.
unfrozen, and we put them in fresh, and it took a little bit longer. So we wanted to experiment and see how much time we could cut off if we froze them, pre-froze them.
Yep.
So I had them froze in the deep freezer, and we popped them in there, and it did take less time. I don't know how much less. I didn't really watch it.
We didn't watch it.
I
It's
just
got a
set it
timer
and
on
forget it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's it.
But so we ended up with 8 jars. 8 jars from those 2 pickings.
8 jars. And we got a whole bucket of strawberries left.
That we do.
Fresh.
We do. So basically that was 2 buckets. And it made 8 jars.
If she cut them up and did this all by herself, that means that she really likes it.
Well,
because-
he's not degrading me by saying that, so
No.
don't take that the wrong way.
No, because
There are not many things that I want to tackle by myself.
yes,
And when he came home from work and he saw that I
I
had
was
a
so
second
happy.
batch
I was so happy.
in that freeze dryer, and I did it all by myself, he turned to Marycarl and he said, "I think your mama likes this freeze dryer."
I did say that.
And I'm not beating myself when I say this. I'm electronic stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not savvy when it comes to doing anything with electronics. This is not electronics. This
No.
is turn a knob and hit a button.
Yeah, you close the door and hit start.
If you can use Marycarl could have done it by herself.
Yeah, she could have. It's
And-
that easy.
And she has loved these.
We're I'm going to tell you, it was really shocking. I'm not gonna lie. It was the whole process of it all. It's really really cool. It goes down to like -40 degrees.
Yeah, Marycarl was kind of fascinated with the fact that it would drop as low as it did,
Yeah.
and then it would bring the temperature back up.
Yeah, because it gets as hot as like 125
Yeah,
degrees
it does.
in the final drying stage.
And this is no sales pitch. This is truly what we experienced.
What I can foresee with us is we did not like canning. We just didn't.
I found myself with a lot of squash that I cut up and even put in the freezer
Yeah.
that I literally forget about. I know you're talking about canning.
I'm talking about
about
canning.
freezing.
You're talking about freezing.
All right. So if I can put squash, just an example, because I found a few bags that I didn't realize I had that had some freezer burn on them.
Okay.
Nobody wants to eat freezer burnt
No.
squash. If I can take that squash that I already sliced up and put
Yes.
in freezer bags
Yes.
and put it on those trays,
Yep.
and next day have that much squash,
Yes.
then
gonna be awesome.
I've utilized it.
And what's great about this is, well, the strawberries are, I mean, you can eat them just like this.
We
Or-
did strawberries just because they are in season and
Yeah.
that's what's here right now. We did not grow the strawberries. We have lots of strawberry farms, but I can't wait to see what else we can do.
Well, what's cool about it is these are we're eating for a snack because they're dry, whatever. And you could put this in bread, you could put this in oatmeal, you could put this in cereal,
Muffin
cakes,
mix.
muffins. But like the squash, you could add a little bit of water to it and it turns right back. I'm guessing like if you wanted to do a squash casserole, you could just put them in there dry, and then they would absorb all the moisture
Right.
out of. I mean, so there's
You
a
could do the
lot.
same thing with these. You put them back in
you put
water
'em back
and
in
it
water.
reconstitutes
Yeah.
it back to a strawberry.
You know,
I mean,
we like boiled squash or
Right.
braised. I guess that's what you.
I like
technical
squash
squash, which
all
is like-
kind of ways,
You could do,
but I don't like freezer burnt squash.
zucchini bread.
You could. I mean, I only make zucchini bread when we grow fresh zucchini.
Yeah.
So if I could have zucchini sitting on my counter
Yes.
or in a bag that's, sealed,
Right.
vacuum sealed, and have it in quantities to where I could just make a loaf of zucchini bread, think of how much healthier lives, not that bread is so healthy for you, but
still,
growing your own
yeah.
stuff and keeping the vitamin content the same.
Yeah. The flavor doesn't change and the nutritional value doesn't change.
And it does when you freeze or when you can.
Yep. But with freeze drying, it does not. It holds it. The other thing that freeze drying, like, since we're going to use these within 6 months, I think, I can't remember the exact date, but it's 6 months or less, we can just put them in these mason jars.
Well, I can tell you they'll be used.
Oh, yeah. Now, we could put them in these mason jars if we want them longer than that, and then vacuum seal these mason jars, and they would last a long time.
Like 25 years.
And not quite that long. You have to use the Mylar bags.
Hey, if you tell me something can last 25 years and me do it a different way, if I'm a prepper
Yeah.
and I one of those that fear what our food will come to, because lo and behold, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows
Well,
what our food's
I
going to come
watched.
to?
I've been watching videos on it because we knew we were getting the machine, and I watched one guy saying that what he said is that if you bought some steaks, and because you can freeze dry anything but oils.
I'm
is
anxious.
What I
I'm
found
so
out.
anxious.
But you can freeze dry meat. So he said you could freeze dry steaks. So those steaks would be at today's cost, and say 5-6 years from now, you could pull those steaks out and look how much money you save, because he's talking about how the price of meat goes up and relative from this time now to 5 or 10 years ago.
All right.
So, I mean, that which was pretty smart. I never thought of it like that. What I'm thinking about how it's going to be so helpful for us is, and I preach this all the time about us, and that is time. Time. When we can, it's always in the evening times. We've been working outside all day long. We're exhausted. You go cook supper.
Yeah.
We sit down and eat. And then when we get through eating, we start canning. And it may be 8 o'clock.
And you can't quit.
You can't quit. And it may be midnight when we get through.
And then you got a pile of dishes in your sink for the next day to clean up.
Think about the dishes.
Well,
yeah, you're right. It's a lot of work. Canning is a lot of work. And I know there's people out there that love to can, but
well, the thing is a lot of ladies don't get outside and do the work. They are the the housewives.
Right.
They do the inside jobs. And if that's your thing and you enjoy doing it, for goodness sakes, continue on. Don't
Right.
take away from that. But for those of you who don't have time and who do other things, I mean, life is so short.
yeah.
Just take advantage of where you can. I literally spent 5 minutes cutting those strawberries up.
Yeah.
And then I cut the tops off and I fed the tops to the worms, just
Yep.
like you did over
Yep.
the weekend. And I had them disposed of. My dishes were clean. All I had was a colander from rinsing them off and a
colander,
cutting board and a knife.
Yeah.
And the machine comes with trays.
Machine comes with trays.
So I put them on the trays and I had a bucket of strawberries in less than like 5 minutes.
Which was awesome. I mean, we could probably still turn these into jam.
I'm sure we could.
All you got to do is just put them in some water and then do like we normally do.
That's right.
Yeah, we could turn them into jam if we wanted to.
If we wanted to.
That is gosh, I had something I was fixing to say and I totally forgot.
Something about the carrots.
No, but that's what we're going to do next. We're going to harvest our carrots this weekend. And I know some of them are starting to rot. I may cut out the rotten spots on them because it's just so wet. I mean, our garden is so darn wet.
But we'll have carrots for
Carrots for a
long
while.
past carrot season.
Yes, carrots. We're going to do our onions this way. We probably won't have to do the garlic this way because we can store it for a long
right.
time. But onions most definitely. We're going to cut our onions up. We're going to
You're
put them in
gonna
jars.
cut the onions
I'll
up.
cut
You
them
have that goggle
That's
technique down pat.
That's right. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do next is definitely the carrots. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I know a lot of people are asking me, how long did it actually take for them to freeze dry? And anywhere from 24 to 36 hours is what we saw on these strawberries.
Those frozen ones didn't take.
About 24
Probably
hours,
right at
yeah.
24.
Yeah, and you don't do nothing. You
do
hit
nothing.
the start button and it does everything.
And it beeped at the end.
Yeah, when it was finished.
And if you're not home when it finishes,
It just
don't fret.
Yeah.
It just keeps on dry and the air circulates until you mash stop
Right.
and get your food out.
So that's just crazy.
I know what I was going to say.
What's
a
that?
lot of people who have seen the video have seen other people who have used the Harvest Right freeze dryer, and they want to know how come ours didn't have that cushion thing in it.
Ours didn't have the cushion or the cover, or somebody called it a pillow or the pad that went in front of the door.
Technology has gotten better, so they no longer need those
No longer
things.
need that thing. And I actually emailed the company and asked my buddy Matt over there, and I said, hey, I noticed that a lot of people have been asking me about this, and I'm pretty sure that it's just a newer machine because they don't even offer the pad on the website anymore. It's not even there. And he said, yes, the older machines were losing
Air through that front insulation.
through the front, and that was a little insulating pad, and the newer machines do not do that. So,
Well, I mean, to me, that's just one less part you got to fool with.
ain't that the truth?
I love it.
Yeah,
and
I'm so
you knew
stoked.
I loved it after.
I knew you loved it when I came home and you were already freeze drying stuff. I knew
It was
you loved
hot.
It.
It was hot that day, and Marycarl and I went and picked some more strawberries, and she was all gung ho for it. She
Yeah.
was all for picking strawberries because if it turned into this,
Yeah,
she wanted it.
she loved it.
She did.
I'm anxious about the carrots because the carrots have such great flavor, and I'm wondering if I'm thinking they're going to be just like this texture.
It just kills me how, to me, when I eat, I mean, I've bought frozen strawberries in the past, back
Oh, yeah.
when I used to make smoothies and things to try to lose weight in different areas. I would, make a smoothie
Right,
and buy
right,
frozen
right.
frozen strawberries.
That's right.
Doesn't taste the same.
No.
That that little ting.
Yeah.
That's how I describe
Yeah.
it. When you put that in your mouth, that little bitter.
Yeah,
Like
it's like a tart.
Yeah,
Very tart.
it's still there.
It's still there.
It's not there in a frozen one.
They taste just like they did when we picked them. I'm telling you. I'm not telling
And
you a story.
I can't bite into a strawberry, so this makes me able to eat strawberries, whereas I couldn't before.
I can't tell you. I mean, I've been eating, and usually
You better slow it down, son.
strawberries, they don't last that long in the refrigerator, and they start turning mushy.
It doesn't
and stuff.
take
Yeah.
it doesn't take long.
Never take
Marycarl
long
may
enough.
or may not have a jar under her bed.
Oh gosh, and and you've been experimenting with some cobblers too that we may post on an upcoming video.
Yes, I found a simple cobbler because I picked more strawberries than we needed to freeze dry, and I had a few fresh ones left.
Right.
I found a simple recipe for a cobbler, and guess what it's made in? A cast iron skillet.
It was beautiful.
And
when
I
she
just so
said that.
happened to have worn my collards and cornbread T-shirt that we have for sale on Teespring. But yeah, I made that strawberry cobbler in a cast iron skillet.
It was good.
It was not a very sweet dessert.
No, it wasn't.
And that's why I picked this recipe, because it doesn't have a ton of sugar. It's only like 2 tablespoons of sugar in the whole thing. You taste that tartness of the
The
strawberry.
strawberries are sweet though.
Jar you some of these. Have that strawberry cobbler year round.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm stoked. I can't tell you how stoked I'm. Oh, I know the one that I'm really excited about, and Marycarl even mentioned it tonight, and that is herbs.
You could put herbs in there?
Yes, freeze dry herbs and put them in jars like this and have them on the counter.
Oh my gracious. And
Yeah.
she hadn't done that yet.
No, but
I mean, I know
but,
we're only a few days in, but
we're gonna
do some rosemary?
we're gonna do a green stalk planter, but nothing but basil. Me and her already talked about it.
Cool. I love using fresh herbs.
Yes, so we're gonna have a solid of basil, and I would like to do some cilantro, but it's probably gonna get too hot on us. But come fall, definitely gonna do cilantro, and
Yeah.
have freeze dry some cilantro because we use cilantro all the time.
We do. I mean, I guess if you add water back to it, it'll be just like fresh.
That or you just put it in there dry. That freeze
But what
dry.
if you're like eating like the dish we had tonight?
Oh, you could put it in that meal. Or you could put it on top. We
Cool.
could have freeze dry cilantro put on top. It would be like this. It would
Uh-huh.
taste just like fresh cilantro. It wouldn't taste like dry cilantro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
like you get in
That's
the
what I was
store.
thinking. I
No,
couldn't
it's
imagine
gonna
dried
taste-
being on the top
No,
of.
it's going to taste like. Well, that's my theory, that it's going to taste just like fresh cilantro would taste.
We're gonna have to test that out.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm going to test it out.
Cool. We're gonna have to get on that cilantro quick though, because
have
it's
to-
gonna be hot here in Alabama
Yeah,
for
I know.
too long.
I may plant some in the light kit from Hoss. Some cilantro. At least
I'm
to
not
get some of that.
objecting to anything.
Me either. Well, you even
Y'all
talked
do the
about
planting,
Yeah.
and I do the freeze drying. Deal? I know how to use it. You just
Speaking
step
of-
back.
Speaking of planting, I'm planting this week. I don't give a darn what the weatherman says. I'm planting my garden this week.
It's gonna rain Saturday.
It's just gonna have to rain. I don't
I
have a
am-
raincoat on. I can't wait any longer.
I'm the weather lady, and I say it's gonna rain.
I know it's gonna rain, and
Hey,
I got to plant.
you know you started tomatoes 2 different times, right?
Yeah,
Didn't you?
I got a tray in yonder, and I
I'm
got a tray
saying
out
you
there.
put every one of them in the ground because I'm gonna freeze dry 'em. Deal?
And I fixed to start another tray.
Can we freeze dry the sun goes whole, or do we need to slice them up?
It says you can do them whole, but they're just gonna take longer to freeze dry because of the skin.
I want them whole though, because
We'll
in that,
experiment with them. We'll do them whole and do some canned halves.
you gotta plant all those plants. Then
Oh, I got plenty of sun goals.
you got
Bunch.
plenty of space.
Yeah.
40 acres.
Yeah, I got 40 acres.
All right, deal.
Deal. If you guys are interested in that harvest right freeze dry, and I will say this, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
It is not cheap. But what they do have that I've never seen a company do is they have a layaway plan.
What?
Not a credit. Not,
So you're not paying interest?
You're laying it away. And what's cool, when I was a kid, my mom layawayed all the time. That's just what people did. People didn't put it on a credit card back in the day.
Well, wait a minute.
She would layaway it.
So they'll like let you make payments on it, and then when you get it paid for, they ship it to
They
you.
ship it to you
That is cool.
Isn't that not
with
cool?
no interest added
with
on?
no interest. It's a full-fledged layaway plan that they have in place there, just
That's
like it
neat.
was when I was a kid.
That's the way things ought to be done.
I don't. Or do they still layaway these days? Besides
think so.
Harvest Fresh,
I don't
anybody
think
just
so.
pulls a credit card out and just charges.
I think so. But you paying interest
But you're
on
paying
that.
interest on it.
I love 0%.
Yeah, we
I love me
0%.
some 0% financing. If I can borrow somebody else's money, then I'm gonna do it.
But I remember being a kid around Christmas time, my mama just, lay away and stuff. I just that brings back good memories.
So put you a Harvest Right freeze dryer on layaway.
And I used
do
to
it today.
That's right, do it today. I used to do my sneakers like that. I would buy my own sneakers and I'd go put them on layaway and pay them.
Okay.
So they do offer a layaway plan, which is awesome.
I'm all for that.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't realize it. So,
And if you were to be interested and decide you do want to buy one, and if you do use our link, which is in this video and anywhere even on our website, we do get a small commission off of it at no extra cost to you. So, and it does help us out tremendously.
and I want to know how you like it because I
would
don't
love to know.
think you're gonna go wrong.
If you guys do have one of these and are using it, been using it,
Give
let
us some
us
tips.
know in
Let
the
us know what we ought to
comments.
be doing.
Yeah, I would love y'all's guys' feedback on
I
that.
did see some comments on the video that people said to do bananas. And do you know when I used to collect old produce at the
all the
at the
bananas
store?
it was.
I quit doing that because Marycarl's homeschooled, and actually they quit giving it away.
Right.
But there are times when they do throw out the old bananas because
was
there's
so
nothing they
many
can do
bananas.
with. There were so many bananas, and I had to run up to the store today, and I saw some that were just about to get overripe. And if I had seen somebody, I would have asked because I want to try some bananas.
You know what else we could have done that old produce?
What?
Bell peppers and green onions. 'Cause
In
they
the-
used to throw them away all the time.
In the thing,
Mm-hmm.
boy, that thing would never shut off.
It would never shut off. It would never shut off.
Yeah, I do. Next time we do something, and didn't you say you can mix different things?
Yeah, you can even do your leftovers. That's what the Matt over there at Harvest Right was telling me. Like they had cooked spaghetti and had leftover spaghetti. So instead of freezing it, they freeze dry it.
And set it on their counter.
Set it on their counter and put
And
it.
next
or put
month, when you get ready to
Yeah.
eat it, it's still sitting on the
it's
counter.
still sitting there in the bag or have your vacuum seal
That's
bag or
just
have
too,
you do it.
too
Isn't
cool.
that crazy?
That
That's
is neat.
crazy. Yeah.
It just amazes
Yeah.
me.
Chicken noodle soup, whatever.
Huh.
He just
So no
freeze dries it.
waste.
No waste.
No waste, no mo.
That's awesome.
All
That's
right.
awesome. But yeah, y'all let us know what you think about this. And if you got one, what to do. What are you doing in yours? What do you love doing in yours?
What-
We love to know. We
Yeah.
love to know. And yes, we are. A lot of people say check out Living Traditions. We are friends with Living Traditions and know them well, and I have been watching their videos too. So I know all about the eggs. That was one thing people were saying. Go watch Living Traditions video about the eggs. And
Well,
yeah,
there
you
are
can
times of the
freeze-dry
year when we
eggs.
do have extra eggs.
It
However,
is.
right now it's not one of them.
No.
People
People want
are
them
wanting
bad. Yeah.
eggs. So we're selling all the eggs right now, and when we do have an extra, we're going to
Yes.
try that.
We're gonna freeze dry them.
But y'all tell us what y'all like and
Yes.
what you do that saves you time.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think we'll just wrap this one up
I think that's a
with our
good
turkeys
idea.
and strawberries.
Turkeys and strawberries.
Tom. Y'all be good.